Alright, gang, time for day 5 of reading the Jurassic Park novel that inspired the movies. New people, just me reacting to the book as I read it. I've begun to notice people do not care about this book, but I start reading it and I'm liking it, so I'm going to keep on reading it. I'm just not realizing, I just realized this guy's the lawyer, the guy who dies on the fucking toilet. I feel like a dumbass for not registering that, but I never really gave him a name other than the lawyer. Look at this line right here, and pause, read, and we're done. Another Malcolm drawing, details emerge more clearly as the fractal curve is redrawn. I feel like it's going to end up becoming like Mr. DNA, but I know it's not. But alright, they went through the gates, and what's going through Alan's... Everyone's like, wow, the dinosaurs look so real, blah, 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 blah. And Alan and Elliot, they're basically going like, well, we gotta look at the creatures and shit. 'Cause to this point, fucking paleontology... He was like all detective work. We had to find out their warm blood based on this and this. It was explain all this in great detail. Like pause and read if you want to. And explain how paleontology had to be detectives, but now they're bringing the creatures back. It's a whole new fucking like ball game essentially. But all right, let's continue. I'm really liking this. All right, I get a question answered here. So they're talking about how they get the DNA for it, because unless it was like frozen or mummified, as far as we know, that didn't happen. Like, how they get the dinosaur DNA? Are they real dinosaurs? And then Ellie's down here, she finds the fucking plant that's over 200 million years old. So we know, obviously, from the movie, that the dinosaurs were brought back with mosquito blood or whatever the fuck. Obviously, they got newer techniques or whatever, because, in the later movies, they were getting like fish and shit. Obviously, mosquitoes weren't getting. But I'm curious how they got the plants back, too. So hopefully they answer it. But this is where we're getting our first thing of the park's not actually safe. Experiencing this plate Ellie sees, it's like super fucking venomous. Somebody just touched it, could get you sick. And the kid was stupid and decided to put it in his mouth. He dies. So we're already seeing the first danger of the park right as they walk in a fucking plant. And then she goes on to talk about how people are naive about plants. They think it's just a picture on a wall. They forget they're actual living things as well. And this entire page was just Ellie talking about, like, how plants are just as competitive as animals and stuff. It's interesting. And they come to the random realization that the area they're staying in right now is like built like a fortress, like inch-thick steel, barred windows and shit, like fiberglass windows, whatever the fuck they were saying. So like they're like, definitely gotta ask about that. Tour starts in 20 minutes. Apparently this version, in the big main room, with the dinosaur poster, they have a mechanical T-Rex instead of the T-Rex skeleton. Little change. So a lawyer dude pulls up this thing showing infant mortality rate, how it spikes go down, and Malcolm immediately is just like, it's because animals got off the island, and the chart's not telling you how many animals got off the island. Malcolm's smart. And he was also doing, explaining they're there to see if the park's safe and so on, the main reason they're there, but he was showing this saying they have the lizard delivered to see if the lizard is an escaped dinosaur. Malcolm's like, it is, I already know. Oh, wait, I misunderstood. Okay, so he was saying animals have likely gone off the island, but they're not the cause of this, because it'd have to be hundreds of the dinosaurs getting off the island. They wouldn't cause that. Okay, I misunderstood. Alright, so Malcolm goes on to explain why Jurassic Park never worked. Like, we got zoos, they slightly modify current creatures. They don't try to full-blown recreate nature. Even then, zoo animals break out all the time. What they're trying to do at Jurassic Park, they're trying to full-blown create fucking a whole old ecosystem thing, but also isolate it. He's basically saying it's just not possible. It's like, it just can't be done, essentially. And then Hammond gets pissed at him and calls him, what did he call him? Let me reread this. You arrogant little snot. This version of Hammond gets pissed, bro. But alright. It looks like the sample, the lizard, the compy's about to arrive, so let's keep reading. Alright, the kids arrived to the island, but swapped around. The brothers, the older one is about 11, and the sister is like 6 or 7. 7 or 8. So, alright. Interesting change here. I think that's the reason I imagine it was the lawyer, because the description earlier, he had kids, he's muscular and shit. I think that's because I wasn't picturing the lawyer dude, so I think that was why it didn't register. On top of, not knowing his actual fucking name. Tim goes from checking out Ellie's legs until like, oh, I know you, Ellie, great, I got your book. And we get a little flashback to when Tim and Lex were at the museum with their dad. Like, Tim convinced the dad to go there, and he's like correcting the museum because the T-Rex has too many vertebrae. And he's telling Grant about it. And Grant's like, was it 5027? He goes, yeah. He goes, they've been talking about how to fix that for years, so he was right. Which is pretty cool that, this Tim kid, he's pretty smart. In this version of Grant's taking a liking to the kids, so different from the movie version who didn't like kids, this one's cool kids. So we're seeing radioactive danger signs and shit. They said there's no danger. They're reserved for legal reasons. Not too sure. You got poisonous plants around the island. And there's only 20 staff on the island because they are just talked to earlier. Everything's automated. They can be, so less staff as possible. Though they're saying, like, when there's actual guests and the island's supposed to be open, they'd have a lot more people. So this is the bare minimum it takes to run the island. So those 20 employees, then I'm assuming you add John, the lawyer, Ellie, Grant, the kids, maybe another person. And hey, we're meeting John Arnold, fucking Samuel L. Jackson's character. Hey, and Robert Muldoon, this is the guy with the clever gal. Alright, we're meeting Dr. Wu. He's a slender man in his 30s, so he's a little older than he is in the movie. But hell yeah, Dr. Wu. But yeah, he's explaining the two ways to get DNA. It's the amber, as we could tell. Grant said he assumed it was the amber. And then grinding up the bones, you could get protein and shit out of them occasionally. Hey, there's a dinosaur up there right now. The bird. Then explain some some DNA stuff, how it's easy to clone dinosaurs. It's easier to clone dinosaurs than mammals because science shit, you could pause and read if you want. But basically saying, yeah, Grant, you're right, they're birds, big leathery birds, not lizards. Because this whole claim to fame is the dinosaur eggs and saying that dinosaurs aren't warm-blooded because they're birds, not reptiles. And I completely forgot Nedry's with the group or whatever the fuck. He's in the room for the whole movie, so this is interesting. Damn, Mr. DNA don't exist in this because Dr. Wu's taking his job. Even the quote Mr. DNA says from here, you can see the actual structure of a small fragment of DNA. Notice the sequence is made of 4 basic compounds, blah, blah, blah. The amount of DNA probably contains a single protein, say, hormone or enzyme. The full DNA molecule contains 3 billion of these bases. If we looked at the screen like this for 1 second for 8 hours a day, it'd take more than 2 years, the entire strand of DNA. It's that big. And as Dr. Wu keeps showing them more and more shit, my boy fucking, Tim, he's like, I'm getting bored of these labs, bro. I just want to see some fucking dinosaurs. And you know what, Tim? Honestly, same right now. Like, I like details, understanding shit, but it's going super into detail, which I appreciate. But at the same time, it's like, this is a lot to process. So the eggs aren't real. The eggs, like, make of plastic, but they mechanically, like, put the embryos inside the eggs for it to hatch. I don't know. Pause and read in case I fucked that up. That's interesting. Yeah, right here. Our eggs are plastic embryos mechanically inserted and then hatch here. Oh, this is cool. I was wondering this. So when they get the DNA, they don't know. Sometimes they get like new DNA. They're not sure what's going to be. So they kind of like mark it with the XX1 because they're not sure until the first batch is born. So then they're like, oh, it says dinosaur. That's actually pretty interesting. Oh, and I forgot to mention, it says like only like 4% of the fucking eggs are survive. So like 150 around every batch are born, and then only like 4% of the 150 survive. So they're seeing the baby dinosaurs, and Grant's kneeling down, look at the baby velociraptors. We just found one of these, and it jumps over his head into fucking Tim's arms. It's like, whoa, they can fucking jump, bro. And this is interesting. They're talking about, oh, what if they reproduce in the wild? What are you going to do then? Like, well, first off, we make them all sterile with x-rays, and then they're all female. So even if they're not sterile, they got nothing to make babies with. Interesting. 2-factor authorization. And Grant goes to look at this baby velociraptor, and I guess he was stressing out. I was like, put it down. So he lets Tim have the raptor again, and like hisses at him. He's like, interesting. And they're like, you'll get your chance to look at the animals, but not right now. They get really stressed out when they're babies with the high mortality rate. Don't do that, bro. But leaving it at that, we're going to leave it on page 129. If you enjoy me reacting to the book or whatever the fuck, I mostly do comic books, some manga and shit too. But we'll leave it there. Leave a like, follow, subscribe, whatever the fuck it's called. Deuces.